do you ever find somebody attractive on Instagram and go to their profile? And she said, yeah, and it was like gunshots just went off, like pop, 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 all in my heart.
What's up, real ones? Welcome back to the Relationship Podcast, where we're bringing the real back to relationships.
Yes, sir.
I'm Asha Steele.
And I'm Devin Steele.
And we're so excited that you guys are tuning in today with us. So, how you feeling today?
Man, to be honest, I'm kind of like in a real calm mood. Normally, I'm not this calm, but right now in Houston, we're having a lot of flooding. So it's like real cloudy and dark outside. And it's like, yeah, like normally when it's like that outside, it controls how I feel. And I don't know why it does that. I know it does that to a lot of people, but it's like I'm in a real calm state right now.
Yeah. I think calm is good. It's very like relaxing for me, at least.
Not when you try and have a poppin' podcast episode.
You know, you can have poppin' still, okay?
I hear
Turn
you.
up the heat.
We about to find out.
You know, we got a new backdrop, you guys, with the red. So we got the heat going on. If y'all just listening to this, y'all need to go over to our YouTube and watch our videos, and y'all see.
Oh yeah,
we getting a little spicy with our red backdrop, right?
We've been doing a lot of rebranding around here.
Yes.
But that's just because of the success of the podcast. We want to make sure that we give you guys the best experience possible, just as a thank you for tuning in, making our podcast shoot to the top, and you know, we're just loving it.
Yes. And so you guys, also, we are loving the feedback from the Bible study. Yeah. We had our second Bible study last week. We're on our third one coming up this Thursday at 7 p.m. So make sure you guys tune in. But it's been an amazing experience. I really enjoy just engaging with all our real ones and just diving into the scripture and really, you know, translating what we're reading into our day-to-day lives. So I've been really enjoying it. How about you?
Yeah, I love it too. I feel like everybody who's been tuning in has been very interactive, and they are able to take away something from it. Like a lot of messages that we get after these Bible studies are people saying, look, I didn't know how much I needed that message, but I felt like that message was just for me. So being able to take out an hour of our day to really just, you know, shed some light on some of the things that we're doing in our relationship, and, you know, sharing those moments where we're going over scripture with you guys and knowing that it's making an impact, it feels good. Yeah. So we're going to definitely make sure we keep this going. Like Asha said, it's every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our YouTube channel, Relationships Podcast. So we just ask, if you haven't joined in, if you haven't tuned in yet, make sure you join in this Thursday.
Yes.
And also, before we get into the episode, I have another announcement to make. Our heart boxes. It's like a tongue twister whenever I say that. But I think early on in our podcast episodes, we talked about how we utilize something called a heart box in our relationship to help us communicate better, help us get whatever's on our heart off our heart so that we can handle those situations and just move on from it. And we just recently restocked on our heart boxes. If you're watching, this is what it looks like. So if you haven't had a chance to order one yet, you can go to our website, REALationships.podcast.com, and order yours today. And I'm telling you, it's going to change your relationship. It's going to help you and your partner, your spouse communicate better. If you got pets, you got kids, it'll help them communicate better. So whatever you do, make sure you go cop this heart box.
Yes. So before we get into any discussion, we just wanted to answer a question from one of our real ones. You guys, we've been getting so many DMs, emails. Sometimes it's hard to keep up, right? It's like we're swamped with questions and everything.
But that's a good thing.
It's an amazing thing. And we just want y'all to be patient with us. We're trying to get around to everybody and answering y'all, not just giving y'all like surface answers, really diving deep and trying to really help you guys out. So it's taking us some time, but if we don't get to you on a DM or in the email, we are going to be responding on the podcast, answering y'all questions. So we actually have one of those questions from our real one.
And before you get into it, one of the reasons why we share these on the podcast is because we want y'all to realize that you're not the only one going through it. There's a lot of people out there that are dealing with the same issues and obstacles that you're facing. So being able to come on here and talk about it not only allows us to help that one individual, but it allows us to reach those who are going through similar situations but probably haven't reached out for help about it.
Exactly. So it says, "Hey, Devin and Asha, I really love you guys' podcast. It helps me to see things in a different light. I had a question for you guys about my relationship. I've been dating my boyfriend for 2 years. He hasn't moved in with me, but wants to stay the night every day like he does. Hasn't offered to pay a bill, but will pay rent at his grandmom's house. And he don't even sleep there. So should I tell him to stay at his grandma's for now since he hasn't contributed to my household? I have 2 children. I'm confused about the situation. What should I do?
Take it away, Asha.
So, 2 years. So I don't know if this situation has been going on where he's been staying there, or this is something that recently occurred.
My man started sleeping and spending the night as soon as they started talking. He got to go.
I don't know how long he's been, having a pattern of staying there every day, but I honestly feel like y'all need to have a conversation. Because y'all need to see what direction you're going in. Like, if he's staying there so often, he's always around. Y'all been together for so long. You have 2 children, right? So he's around them and in their lives. So if y'all are going to take the next steps to move in together and have, that type of lifestyle where y'all are cohabitating, which we talked about in a previous podcast, y'all need to really have that conversation to see what y'all doing. Because if that's the case, then he most definitely should be contributing and helping out with your household, right?
Yeah, I got like mixed emotions about this. Number one, I feel like we talked about this in previous episodes, is unspoken expectations. Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of times we expect things from people and they don't know that we're expecting it from them, so they're not able to fulfill that obligation. So like Asha said, I think that you guys need to sit down and have that talk and tell him what you expect from him and see if he's willing to do that. And I feel like, y'all being able to handle this issue right now is going to tell you a lot about your future, because real relationships are all about how you're able to overcome obstacles, how you're able to overcome differences. So this is going to tell you a lot about your future together. But also, as a man, what I would say is I wouldn't expect to be at my woman's house all the time and not helping her out. Like, for me, I wouldn't even need to have that conversation, right? Because I would already expect that of myself. Like, if I'm staying there every day, I'm using your water, I'm using your electric, probably eating your food, right? I would chip in just off the strength that, as a man, I feel like I need to be contributing to wherever I lay my head at night. So he's going to have to look into himself and find out why he doesn't feel the need to really contribute to the household. But like I said, y'all got to have that conversation and talk about those unspoken expectations.
Exactly. Or he going to have to go pack his bags and head over to Mama's house.
Oh,
okay?
Man.
But no. So before we get into our topic, we have our Keeping It Real moment. And you guys, I have to keep it real with y'all.
Keep it real with them, boo.
Your girl's been struggling, okay? I've been struggling a little bit, you guys, because we touched on it a little bit before, but I have embarked on this new journey in life, right? Mm-hmm. I got back in school. Yay! Clap it up for me. Yes.
Act like we got some.
But no, I enrolled back into school, so I'm officially a full-time college student.
Let's go.
After 12 years or so of being out of school. Okay, you guys. So it is a struggle, like getting myself back into the pattern of being a student, being in classes, doing the schoolwork. Like, my brain, literally, all those 12 years of grade school is erased. Like,
you don't use it, you lose it.
I don't remember a thing. So, like, literally, I'm just like, I feel like I'm learning all over again, which is fine because learning is a beautiful thing, but it's a struggle. Yeah. On top of that, it's like, I realized from some of the readings that I was reading in school or in class or whatever, that I'm applying to my life, but I am transitioning from the role that I was in previously as a student to the role that I am now. So now I take on all these titles of being a wife, a mom, a businesswoman, a podcast
top
host.
Podcast
host.
Yes,
so
sir.
It's like, it's very different from me just being a student like I was at the time. So it's been a struggle. And I know I've been getting people that actually commented on my Instagram after we had posts before saying how awesome I'm doing, balancing all these hats. But I just want y'all to know it's a struggle. And I know it's a struggle for y'all as well. So I don't want you to think that anybody's life is perfect. If you're struggling in your life, we on the same page, right? So you have to, I feel like in learning all of this and just trying to find the balance, it's important for you to stay focused on what the big goal is, right?
Yeah. Because
along your journey is going to be a lot of obstacles and setbacks and, days where you feel like, can I do this, right? Like, because in some portions of your life, you may feel like you're applying so much to it and you see it succeeding and you're doing great or whatever. And then another aspect of your life, you feel like you're falling short.
Right.
So I don't want anyone to feel like they should get down on themselves, because it's been times that I've felt like that, where it's like, oh, I'm getting these good grades in school, but am I still applying my all to, my husband? Like, am I lacking for things that I need to do for him? Or am I being the best mom for Ari because I'm taking away from time from her to try to study? So just know that you're going to be pulled in so many different ways. And it's okay if you do feel like you're falling short, because that's the beauty of life, is you are working towards a greater goal. And at the end of the day, you have to make sacrifices to reach that goal. So,
and a lot of times it's just in your head.
Yeah.
A lot of times you just feel like you're falling short and it's not actually the case. And I feel like when your partner is going through something like that, then it's your job as their partner to really step up in the areas that they feel like they're struggling, and just to give them that peace of mind, like, okay, I can focus on what I need to focus on because I have a partner that's handling the areas that I think I'm not giving 100% effort to.
Yeah. So, yes, my husband, he's been a great help, a big help with, taking the load off a lot of things, especially balancing mom life and student life. But it's an amazing experience. It's an amazing journey. So I just want y'all to stay positive, stay focused, and know that you can do it. Yeah. You can be great. So in today's topic, dun, 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 yeah. We are discussing double standards in relationships. Well, really, I feel like it's not even just in relationships. Yeah. I feel like it could be just in general, but
these are really tailored to relationships, because we went online and we just looked up what are the top double standards in relationships, and we was like, well, why don't we just have an episode where we discuss this? So me and Asha didn't discuss these together. We wanted our responses to be real and raw on this podcast, and see if we align about how we feel about these double standards. So this should be interesting.
It might be a touchy subject for some, but I think it's going to be an interesting topic. So let's get into it. Okay. So we have 6 double standards that we're going to go over. And the first one is, your partner can have friends of the opposite gender, but you can't. Double standard for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely a double standard.
Okay.
I don't necessarily feel like me and you have experienced this, because
ain't no friends.
No, but like I don't really you don't really have female friends like that. Like you have people that you were cool with or associated with in college or whatever.
But I still got my beliefs on it, but I want to hear yours first.
What? I
want to hear yours first.
I do feel like that's a double standard, because I feel like from previous experiences, like guys feel like they can, oh, this is my homegirl from back then, mm-hmm. It ain't nothing going on, mm-hmm. whatever the case may be. But if you got a homeboy that you cool with, he looking at him sideways like, okay, why y'all cool? Like, you don't need no friends. I'm your friend.
Right.
Right?
Yes, which I agree with.
You think that's true?
Listen, okay. See, the more that, like I told y'all before, that I made a cognitive effort to actually study relationships, study marriage, mm-hmm. look up different statistics, right?
Right.
So the more and more I research, the more I'm finding out that in order to have a great relationship, mm-hmm. you need to be great friends.
Okay.
Right? Because that chemistry leads to a lot of great things in a relationship.
Right.
So if I'm seeing you with this great friendship over there with another man, and I'm going to feel some type of way.
But that should apply for a male.
I'm not saying that it doesn't.
Yeah.
Right now I'm speaking on the fact that should you have friends of the opposite sex in a relationship? And like I said, if you're having this close friendship with this other man, I'm going to feel some type of way, mm-hmm. especially if we don't have that close of a relationship, especially if we don't have the same history that y'all have, because mm-hmm. let's say that there's turmoil in our relationship. Who you going to go run to talk about it?
Right.
And they just going to slide their way in. They're going to take all the information that you tell them about our relationship, and they're going to try to score a touchdown. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Hold on, I'm not done. Let me tell you another statistic, and let me tell you why I'm saying this.
Statistics.
They say that 60% of people in a marriage will have to deal with infidelity.
Okay.
And those chances increase when your partner has a very close friend of the opposite sex, because that's more than likely who they're going to turn to when there's issues in your relationship.
Okay.
So I don't have a problem with you like having acquaintances. Like, as long as you're not like close best friends, like, oh, we always hanging out together, texting and all this other stuff. Like, nah, I'm not cool with that.
No, I feel like, to be honest, like as an adult, it comes with just being more mature, right? So say you have friends or female friends from college or whatever, or before your relationship. If that is genuinely your friend or whatever, we should all be able to be friends, right?
Yeah,
so I'm pretty
feel
sure
excluded from
they
the friendship.
are, they have their spouse or they have their boyfriend, whoever, girlfriend that they're dating. They should be able to, bring their person, their significant other, to wherever you're at, and we can all, hang out, chill, chat,
Yeah.
So I feel like that's the right thing to do. I don't feel like you should have an exclusive, bestie of the opposite sex that you're just hanging out with aside from your partner, because like you said, I feel like in certain times you could be, giving more interest into that person or sharing more information than what you're sharing with your partner, and building up a bond that you're essentially taking away from the bond that you could be connecting with your partner.
Yeah.
So it's like, if we can't be in a group setting being all friends, then you won't have no friends.
Yeah.
Ain't no friends.
Nah,
okay?
Nah, exactly. And I was about to say something too. I can't even remember because this done got me all off my game. But what I was about to say is that I think that it really depends on the couple, right? That you have to sit down with your partner and ask them what they're comfortable with. And at the end of the day, if your partner's not comfortable with it, then you should end that friendship, because especially when you get into a marriage, your partner becomes your number one priority. So if it's not making them happy, if it's making them feel some type of way, then you have to put their feelings first and not say things like, oh, you're just jealous or you're tripping. Like, that's not the right way to handle the situation. If they don't feel comfortable with that friendship, then you have to take that in consideration and do what's best for your relationship, not what's best for your friendship.
Yeah. So not to make this too long, because I feel like we can have a whole podcast on this just alone, but another thing is not having your little bestie friend of the opposite sex that was someone that you was involved with.
Oh, man.
Like, that's a no-no. So if you know that y'all have history where y'all have been sexually involved, or there was like,
or even mentally involved, because y'all women be loving with y'all heart and
but
y'all
I'm just
mind.
saying, because even if you want to say that, like, even speaking from that perspective, if you're the man, you have a female friend who you were involved with, now you got to think she's a female. So she may be attached mentally to my man, even though it's over. So if that's the case where y'all had a past history on that level, ain't no friendship. We deading it at the door, okay?
No friendship.
Ain't no friendship.
No friendship. So the second double standard in relationships was, and this is so true, women can criticize men's appearance, but not vice versa.
I do think that's very much true. Cause I feel
why do y'all think y'all can do that?
I don't even think it's like, oh, we feel like we can do it, but I feel like it's like we be or some of us be like very sensitive for a man to like criticize certain things, but we don't think about it like maybe he would feel a certain type of way if we say something about you, right? So I do think a lot of situations that could possibly be true. Yes.
Do you think that it depends on whether it's just downright negative criticism or constructive criticism? Does it matter? Like, can I approach you a certain way where I can tell you how I feel and you accept it, not as me coming at you, but as me as your partner? Because what I would tell you is, I would rather you tell me something about myself than anybody out there, right?
Right.
If something's not up to par or up to standard, I'd rather you come to me because you're my friend. You're my trusted confidant. Like, I believe everything you say to me, right? And I know that you're only telling me for the betterment of myself. So is there any way that a man can approach a woman about that? Let's touch on a topic that I think is very touchy. Let's touch on weight loss. Like, so if you, because a lot of people, when they get into relationships, they get comfortable.
Right.
And, normally they get out of shape. Is there a right way for a man to approach his woman about that?
I do think it's the right way to approach, because if you want to, let's just speak on that, because I was going to actually give an example, but to speak on that, if you realize that, your partner is gaining weight, right? Or your partner, has put on an extra couple pounds or whatever the case may be, you can ask or even see for yourself, if you're really involved, where that weight is coming from, right? Are they, is it happy weight? Like, I'm just enjoying my life. I'm happy. So I'm just, eating because there's a thing
I like food.
where that's at. Or is it like, maybe they're in a state of depression or something's bothering them. So then now they're turning to eating or whatever the case may be, right? Mm-hmm. So it depends on the situation for why they're particularly gaining weight. Maybe it's just life, and they just, developing and growing. They just want to get a couple pounds on, which is nothing wrong with that. But you need to, kind of analyze why it is, right? Mm-hmm. Not just going like, oh, dang, babe, you getting a little bigger, you packing on some pounds. What's going on? You might want to hit the gym. Like, I feel like some people, and even if they're saying it jokingly, you just need to be mindful of the mind state that person is in, their emotions, and how they will feel and perceive what you're telling them, right? Yeah. So if you know your partner and you know how to speak to them, and they know that you're not coming from a place of malice and you're really trying to help them, then you could be like, hey, babe, I like the little extra weight on you or whatever. It look good, but what's up? You come to the track with me? Let's go. I want to get, active. I want to start running. Yeah. And so that way that way it's not like, oh, you're saying that, oh, I'm packing on weight, I look a certain type of way. It's now like, I'm engaging. I want to help you. I want to help me. So let's go ahead and do this together. Right? Yeah. So I think it's definitely how you approach the situation.
Because I just think about our time in Cincinnati when we was going through everything we was going through. Mm-hmm. And we gained a ton of weight. And I remember when one time me and you looked at a picture of ourselves from that time, and we was like, yo, why didn't you tell me I was gaining this much weight? Yeah. And it's just like,
but I feel like that's also different too, because when you're in a situation, like I said, where you're going through a phase where it might be just like you're in a slump or depressed, or a situation that's like taking your mind completely off of your mental, your physical, your health, it's like kind of hard to tell your spouse because y'all both in it. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to be like, babe, something's going on, because you don't have tunnel vision where you're just looking straight ahead. Like, you're focused on so much around you, and there's so much caving in. It's like, I'm not even thinking about our health. I'm not even thinking about our physical appearance, like, because I got 1,000,001 other things to think about. Yeah. Whereas if someone it does have that clear mind state, and they are on that track, and then they see their partner is falling off, you can see something that they might necessarily see. But if y'all both blind to it, then y'all both gonna fall into wherever, Yeah,
I agree.
So
I think, like you said, it's all about constructive criticism and being there to support your partner. Because like I said, if there's anything that I want to hear from somebody, it would be from you, because I trust your judgment, especially when it comes to my life. Right. So that's I feel like that double standard is really real. Yeah. That women just feel like they can say whatever they want, but it is what it is.
Okay, so number 3 is, when men are strongly opinionated, they are driven or confident. But if a woman is strongly opinionated, they're considered bitchy.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that is definitely a double standard. I feel like a lot of times we're just expected to, not have much to say,
just fall in line.
Fall in line and just, play this position, play this role, and that's not the case. So I definitely feel when you see or you hear a strong opinionated woman and she not taking no ish, and she gonna tell you how it is, you perceive it as something like bad, like it's a bad thing, when it's not, because a man can be strong and dominant and tell you this, that, and the third, and it's just like, oh yeah, he got it together. He know what he's talking about. But like, if a woman is like that, then it's like, okay, she's a little bit too aggressive. So I definitely feel like that's a double standard.
But is there a too aggressive for a woman? Let's say that a man is trying to be the leader of his household, the leader of his family, and the woman always tries to take the lead. Is that an issue?
I don't think, no.
No?
I don't think it's...
So you don't think that the man should lead the household? The woman should definitely have influence on her husband, on the decisions made in the household, but at the end of the day, the husband is the head of the household?
I feel
So if a woman tries to overstep that boundary, like, no, this is what we're doing, you don't think that that's an issue?
No. Because I feel like we should both lead the household. Like, I feel like we're on the same team. This is both our household. And yes,
But if you're talking about sports, everybody's on the same team, but there's still a captain who has a final say so.
Right. But that's okay. That's sports. When we in our household, right. But when we're in our household, we both have different roles and different things that are delegated to us for us to take care of. But at the same time, we're both equal leaders in our household. We both have equal responsibility. So if I'm going to always, if you say, babe, this is what we should be doing, and I know that, you're saying it for the betterment and benefit of our family.
Right.
Of course, I'm going to be like, you know what? Right. I'm going to go ahead and let him take the lead on that because you're right, but it's just not like I'm going to just sit back and fall in line and just be like, oh, I'll give my opinion, but my husband's word is the final say, end all be all. That's not the case. We have to have an equal balance and be able to, bounce things off of each other and realize that we're both playing a vital role in our household, in our relationship. So I think that you can be opinionated, but you can come from a place where it's not you being too overpowering, because I feel like if that's the case, then a man can definitely be too overpowering and very opinionated, and it come from a very like dominant and like strong force where you be like, whoa, all right.
Yeah. No, I think that a man can be too dominant.
Yeah.
Whereas like he think his word is bond and he doesn't allow his spouse or his lady to have any input on what's going on. Mm-hmm. But I do think at the end of the day that the man is the head of the household and that the family got to ride with the decision he make, whether right or wrong. That everybody puts in their input, but at the end of the day, the man is the head of the household.
Right, you're the head of the household.
Thank you.
But we gonna ride with the decision we make. Okay. So number 4 is
let's just get off that one. Because I see we ain't eye to eye on this right now. We're going to have to talk about this when this podcast
Double
is over.
Standard, y'all.
Open up that Bible and give her a couple of verses.
Okay.
That's going to be our next Bible study. So ladies, make sure you tune in. Fellas, make sure you make your lady tune in.
I can't. So number 4 is, when a woman puts all her focus into her career, it's frowned upon. But when a man does it, he is hardworking.
Yeah, I think that is a double standard, and it's not okay. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like, especially in the past, a lot of women have sacrificed their dreams and their futures in order to hold down the family. Mm-hmm. And you can see the shift going on right now where, women are understanding that just because they're a mom doesn't mean that they can't pursue their dreams. Mm-hmm. And I'm all for it. So hopefully that's a double standard that will continue to be broken. Like even I told you that, you want to go back to school or you want to own your own company and stuff like that, then it's up for us to really carry the load of the family. And that's not something that you have to do on your own because you have hopes and dreams, and that doesn't stop once you become a parent. If anything, that should help motivate you and push you to go out there and achieve your dreams.
Exactly. And especially you have, I can only speak from a woman's point of view, but when you are a mom and you have a daughter, you are setting an example for her. She's looking up to you like, like you're her world, everything you do. And I noticed that from looking at Ari, like literally she would mimic and mock everything I do, good or bad. So it's like
So what bad things you be doing that she be mocking?
No.
Twerking?
I'm just saying, get out of here.
Dancing?
I cannot. But it's like you have to set that example and you have to be the best version of yourself. So if you want to go out and do something, you want to be a hard worker and you want to accomplish all these things for yourself, it's perfectly fine because you got to realize you're building a generation who's looking up to you. So you got to set the example, right? It's nothing wrong with you, going out, being hardworking, doing something for your family, providing, because that's what you're there to do. Is like you said, we're not back way back when, you know, we were just supposed to sit home and take care of the house. Like, no, we're very smart. We're very talented. We're equal. You know, we're equals. So we should be able to go out and do the same thing that the man is doing and help to contribute if that's what we want to do. So I feel like that's definitely a double standard that we're going to get over. Okay?
Period,
Pooh. So number 5, right? Number 5 is, this a double standard. I'm going to let you take this away.
When men have a high number of sexual partners, it is applauded.
Boo.
But women with similar numbers are slut-shamed.
Yes. I think that's definitely true.
Yeah, we all know that's true.
That's definitely true. And it's, to be honest, I feel like it's ridiculous. One, because I feel like, and this is just my opinion, if a man is going to consider a woman who slept with numerous amount of men or whatever and have multiple partners a slut or whore, excuse my language, you guys, but that's what they say, then a man is considered that too. Like, I feel like it shouldn't be, oh, she's doing this and she's this type of way. No, if that's, call it what it is, call it spade for spade, because you're going off a numbers game, right?
Yeah.
So if that's the case,
which I'll never really tell y'all real number, but go ahead.
Some men don't either, and some men be hyping stuff up or not, but whatever the case may be, like, for you to say, if you want to hype the number up because they think it's something that's like, you know, rewarded. Because,
but they'll hype that up amongst their friends. I don't think that they would tell.
Yeah, no, but still, even still, like, it's looked upon within whatever community or environment, like, that's a good thing. Oh, yeah. he got multiple numbers of women. He a player. He this, that, and the third. And then you look at it and like, oh, she's a hoe. No, you're a male hoe. How about that?
I mean, I agree with you. Devin from, you know, a couple of years ago probably wouldn't agree with you because I was so caught up in society's ideologies, hip hop music and all that other stuff, the environment I grew up in. I really thought that the amount of women that you slept with makes you a man. But as I got older, I started to grow, right? And I started to understand that the things I learned wasn't right, that the amount of women I do sleep with isn't right, right? Especially now that I have 2 daughters, it's like, the thoughts that I had before is just unacceptable. Right. But I don't think that women tell the truth about the amount of men that they sleep with. I do think that men hype up the number to their friends and stuff to try to seem cool or try to seem down. But I think either way, you shouldn't just be giving yourself away. Yeah. To any and everybody.
I honestly don't understand where the whole notion of even talking about your sexual partners came from.
That's what I was about to ask you. Do you think that when you're in a relationship with somebody, you should ask them how many sexual partners they had before you?
To be honest, like, I don't think that should be a discussion, really. Like,
so why you ask me?
In-depth number. Get out of here. You probably wasn't want to ask me first.
Never.
But like, I really feel like it shouldn't be an in-depth conversation because
that in my mind.
Because the past is the past. Like, you know, whatever you was doing in your previous life before me, like, as long as you not bringing nothing, no diseases or STDs or anything where it's going to affect me, like, why are we discussing your past? Like, I don't care to know about who you slept with, when you slept with them, and you shouldn't care to know about my past. Right now, we're together, we're sleeping together, and that's all we should be focused about. I don't even know why the numbers game is even a discussion amongst people when they're dating, you know, other than you just wanting to be nosy and see who was dipping in before you, you know? So honestly, I feel like if you don't want to talk about it, you don't need to talk about it. As long as it's not something that's going to affect your partner, then we really don't need to discuss it.
Real rap.
So number 6, you guys, is it's okay for a man to have wandering eyes, but not the woman. Double standard? Double standard? No. You don't think that's a double standard?
No.
Why not?
I mean, I don't think that I've never heard of that double standard.
So you never been like, oh, you know, I mean, if somebody walk past, he can look. Oh, I'm just looking, babe. I ain't doing nothing. We all see it. It's all there. But if you looking at a man, you checking him out. Well, what you looking at him for? You like him? You like his chest? Oh, that's what you like.
But women would do that too if they saw.
But it's a double standard because a man.
That's not true.
Yes,
that's not true. I don't think it's a double standard because I don't think that women allow their man to do that, and men don't appreciate their women doing that.
I feel like men be blatantly like obvious with it though.
No, they don't.
Don't. A neck will break. You would see somebody walk past looking good. Maybe she got a big butt or something. You looking, you double take, or you breaking your neck to look. Maybe he dropped
something back there.
Yeah, he dropped something back.
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe you just assume because first of all, let me ask you this: how you know she got a big butt if you didn't look at it?
I mean, you can see. That's what I said. We all have eyes. What? We all have eyes. So if you see,
if it catches your attention, how is it not supposed to catch mine?
But I'm saying men be like obvious with it. Like what's in my view right here when we're walking right in front of me.
So what you basically saying that women are sneaky?
When you breaking your neck to go look on the side of you in your peripheral.
Hold on. So you're basically saying that women are sneaky.
It's not about being sneaky. We got tunnel vision. We looking straight ahead.
So you're telling me that women don't have wandering eyes?
If you straight ahead in front of us, then that's what we see.
So do women
if we gotta break our neck to look to the left or look to the right, then we going out of our way.
So do women have wandering eyes?
I feel like some women do, yes.
Some women.
But it's about if it's acceptable.
What do you mean?
Is it acceptable for your woman to have wandering eyes, but for the man?
Explain wandering eyes for me.
Okay, I just told you.
Because we might have two different definitions.
If we walk in and you see someone, or even if you're not walking, if you see someone out and they're attractive or you find something attractive about them and you're looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 seconds.
So how many seconds do I get? If
you're breaking your neck.
How many seconds do I get?
You get a half a second. You get a quick glance. Oh, there you go.
But is it okay in a relationship to find other people attractive?
I think it is because it's a natural reaction for you to find people attractive. Mm-hmm. Like that's a natural thing as a human being. Oh, that's an attractive male. That's an attractive female. But it is if you're.
That's what you said?
If you're. I'm saying.
Hold on. So we've been together 8 years. How many times have you looked at a man and said that's an attractive man?
Never. Only when I look at you, babe.
Now you lying.
But no, I'm being serious. Like it's a natural thing for a male or female to find whoever their preference is, like, attractive, right?
Their preference should be their man.
Right. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying if you see an attractive person, you can say somebody is attractive. If you see an attractive vehicle drive by, you're going to say, oh, that's a nice car.
An attractive vehicle. See,
right?
Now she getting caught up.
No.
Who says an attractive vehicle? Oh, that attractive. Look at the curves on that vehicle.
Okay. If you see a nice looking car, if you see a car, it's the same thing as if you see a person. If you see a person that's nice looking. Now you're comparing a person to a car. Are we done?
I'm just saying, you getting caught up.
No, I'm not getting caught up. I'm saying you can, as a man, I feel like men feel like they can have wandering eyes and it just be like, oh, I'm just looking. It's there to look at. But if a woman happens to look, it's like, oh, World War III about to happen. Why you over there breaking your neck to look at that man?
Because, man, we have a lot of pride. So if we see that another man is taking our woman's interest, it is not a good feeling.
But it's not even taking their interest.
It is. For that seconds that you was looking, that's taking the interest off of me, off of us. That hurts. Like, I'm going to keep it real with y'all. This is a truthful moment. This is a relationship podcast, right? So it's not funny. You know what I'm about to say. So I've always told myself, if Asha finds other guys attractive, that's cool. I'm confident in myself. You know what I mean? If she be looking at other dudes on Instagram, I'm good because, I'm confident in myself. Mm-hmm. So for some stupid reason, I asked Asha the other day, I was like, yo, do you be looking at dudes on Instagram? And she was like, what you mean? I was like, they're like, men are all over Instagram. Like, it's Instagram. It's just pictures. I'm like, no. Like, do you ever find somebody attractive on Instagram and go to their profile? And she said, yeah. And it was like gunshots just went off like, pop, 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 all in my heart.
But I was being honest.
Sometimes you don't need to be honest. All right. Sometimes we ask stupid questions as men and we don't need the honest answer. Right. But I appreciate you being honest. But nonetheless, it hurt.
I'm sorry, babe.
You're not sorry.
I am
Because as soon as we got done talking, you probably went back on Instagram. No. But it hurt. Although I told myself, like, I don't care. Like, it hurt for a little bit. Then I was like, all right, because I know I'll be on Instagram. Yeah. So I'm not dumb. But also, I don't like knowing that somebody caught your eye. Yeah. I just want your eyes to be for me.
You the only one that got my eyes, babe.
For now.
For always and forever.
No, it's not.
But yeah, no, I think, like you said, with Instagram is pictures, you guys. That's what it's there to look at. I ain't worried about no
Don't double tap, though.
Yeah, I ain't double tapping, comment, heart eyes, none of that stuff, because I got my man right here. Mm-hmm. But, if I see a female or a male, I'm just nosy. I'm on Instagram, so I'm just looking at people's profiles. But I feel like that's a double standard, and that double standard just proved it right there with that example.
What, me saying that I can do it, but then it hurt?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a double standard. So
I can admit that.
So yes, you guys, that pretty much wraps up our topic of today with double standards. I feel like it's so much more double standards.
Yeah, let us know some of the double standards that y'all think of by emailing us at questions@RealRelationship.podcast. There's so many double standards out there that it was hard to just fit all of them into this podcast, but we went for the ones that we saw on multiple platforms and ones that really stood out.
Yeah. So we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Until next time, you guys, keep it real.
Yes, sir.